Welcome everybody, I'm Annihilator and you're at Onefall Gaming. So good to have you all here. So today's the start of our new series, and what this is all the latest gaming and tech news that you could want. So we're first getting straight into it. We are covering 7 Days to Die, and they are doing an Alpha 20 live stream on the 28th of October at 9 PM Central Standard Time or 2 AM GMT. I will be there. I'll be covering the event live. So if you want to join me on my Twitch stream, I will be there. The link will be down below. But some of the things, they haven't announced what they're covering, but I think they'll cover some of the new zombies that haven't been converted over from the old models to the new models. There will be the talk on the vehicle critical system. They'll be working on that for Alpha 20. Water's been worked on. I know that. Fatal's been posting that on the forums a bit. Bandits, we don't know. I doubt it. I don't think there's enough time between Alpha 19 and Alpha 20 to get bandits in. And the junk drone may make appearance, but we don't know that yet. So we'll just have to wait and see. Next on our list is Satisfactory. So the Satisfactory 3.5 update is due out on the 28th of this month. This week's going to be really busy, provided it doesn't run late. They have put that in brackets that there is a possibility of it overrunning. But let's see what they do. They have there's new Mark II pipes and pumps. There's a new bounce pad, which you'll see now, and there are new electricity nodes, and there's other new buildings, and the new fluid packer that will be grandfathered on your old refineries. Will still be able to do it, but if you build new refineries after 3.5, they will not be able to do fluid packing. You need the dedicated thing. But I think the big thing is the new fluid dynamics. That is going to change dramatically from version 3 to 3.5, so be careful with your piping. It might not work anymore, but we'll cover that as soon as it comes out. Next on our list is Minecraft 1.17. The due date currently is unknown, but they were estimating mid-2021, and this is a massive update. It's called Cliffs and Caves, and it's the Cliffs and Caves generation getting redone, and it looks really, really fantastic. I'll post the link to the full video down below, but here are some snippets of it. So some of the stuff that is going into this is new skulk detectors, there's new blocks, there's new mobs, like the Warden. That's our first blind mob. He seems to be a bit of a monster. He's going to be a real nightmare to kill. There's new ore, there's copper, which currently only seems to be used in buildings and nothing else, but I'm sure that will change but closer to the time. I'll post a link down below of everything that's going to be going into that. I can't cover it all here. There's huge amount of changes in this. There's new trees, there's new plants, there's new grass, there's all sorts of stuff in this. So if you want to know more, I'll do a more in-depth video on that at a later stage. But for now, if you want to watch the video, click the link below. All right, next is our tech news. So if you've been living on a rock, AMD's Radeon RX 6000 series is launching on the 28th of this month. I think it's 5 PM GMT. I'll just have to confirm that time for you. But so far the provisional names that have come through the leakers is a 6900, 6800 XT and a 6800. But those are not from AMD themselves. Those are from all the leakers that I have seen. I don't have anything personally. I am basing this off on what the other tech tubers I've watched. So I wouldn't set those names in stone. But they do say the 6900 is going to be only AMD. It's not going to be anybody else. But we'll have to wait and see what comes out. As per performance, if they can match a 3080 at $500 or $550, I think they've got runaway success on their hands. But we'll have to just wait and see. Just also covering this, the new Xbox is currently sold out in Japan. So if you do live in Japan, you're trying to get one of those, you're going to have to wait for those. It's a rare thing for Microsoft to sell those out in Japan. Now, these tweets from Patrick Scher on Twitter. This is a Novit X21XT, the Asus Strix, and this is an engineering board, guys. So take all of this with large quantities of salt. Now, System 1, you can see the average is 2291. System 2, 2289 megahertz, and System 3 is 2092. Now, all of these are engineering boards with probably beta or even alpha drivers. So there's going to be quite a lot of variation in these figures. But if you look, there is another tweet that he did put out. And now this has got a bit more breakdown of System 1. Now you'll see in this tweet, you'll see it spends at over 2.5 gigahertz, 2500 megahertz. That is insane for a graphics card that is not on liquid nitrogen. 10% of the time, that's absolute madness. And you'll see it spends over 50% of its time between 23 and 2400 megahertz. What the hell, guys? That is ludicrous. If this is true, that is insane. That is at least 400 megahertz higher than any Nvidia 3080 can do. And this is not even overclocked. These seem to be standard boosting frequencies. And the total board power that Patrick has mentioned on these things is total graphics power, not total board power, is 289 watts. So when you add total board power, that goes up because you still need to account for memory and fans and the actual losses and things like that. So I think these things are going to probably match Nvidia when it comes to power consumption. At these clock speeds, I would not be surprised at that. But if they can beat the 3080 and be cheaper than them, I think they might have a winner. All right, next on our list is Intel. Now, Intel is not having a good third quarter. Their stocks have dropped 11% on their latest earning calls, which is not good news. And I'd really hope they can get their processors right because Tiger Lake is on the way. I just wish they would fix their naming schemes because the highest end Tiger Lake that we've got is the Core i7, the 1185 G7. It is 3 gigahertz. It boosts to 4.8 gigahertz single core and 4.3 all core. Now, guys, this is Tiger Lake. This is 10 nanometer, not 14 nanometer. We've still yet to see anything from Intel on the 10 nanometer for desktop. It is coming, but they're saying 2021 for Intel to get onto desktop for 10 nanometer or even 7. By then, AMD and TSMC is going to be on 5 nanometer, which, is a bit crazy. And we can't compare nanometer nodes to nanometer nodes. You can't say 7 is 7. Because if you look at Samsung's 8 nanometer node, it's not. It's actually 10. But hey. All right. So our last section deals with Nvidia. Now, some really interesting news has just popped up via Avery on Twitter. Now, you'll see down below here, there's got pre-order prices on Taobao for roughly 2,998 yuan or roughly $450 for 3060s. Now, we haven't had much information on the 3060s. They say they're expecting these on the 30th of November, and it appears to be an Inno3D model, according to Avery. Now, we don't know how true or false this is. This is the first time we've seen a listing like this. And if it is $450, that's only a $50 separation between the 3060 Ti and the 3070, which is not much. So I don't know about you, but I would pay the $50 and get the 3070 if I was in the market for a card like that. The 3070s are only due out on the 29th of this month, which is a couple of days' time. They say they're building up stock, but I don't think they want to be caught a dollar short with fighting against the 3080s against the RX 6000 series. But that's just my opinion. So again, the 3070s will be out on the 29th. And we'll see how they do, if they're going to be worth their $500 or if AMD is going to blow them out the water. We shall see. It's going to be a really, really interesting time, I do think. But $450, guys, that's way too much for that card. That card should be no more than $350. It's a low-end card if you compare it to the rest of them. Is Nvidia. So Nvidia is having some serious problems getting cards to market. So this is my opinion, but I think it's a perfect storm of problems for them. I think that the problem is they're getting insanely low yields from Samsung's process. Now, Samsung seems to have a problem getting any sort of decent yields out of their 8 nanometer process / 10 nanometer process, but that's an argument for a different day. Now, if they're getting 30%, as some reports have indicated in the industry, out of a single wafer, it means they are really struggling, because this processor is 600 millimeters squared. It's enormous. Samsung's never developed anything that big before. They normally make cell phone CPUs, which are tiny. So I think that is one of the problems. Combine that with really hot, really experimental memory, insanely low yields, and a $150 cooler, and they probably got some inside information of what AMD was launching. They probably pushed this to market a little too early. You cannot buy a 3080 or 3090 for love or money. So I think they were trying to buy mind market share, and I think they've done themselves a huge disservice by doing so. I think a lot of people are going to go, right, what's AMD got? Okay, is it X amount, say $550 for a 6800 XT? I'll buy it. Sweet, because they can get it. What's the point of waiting if they can get one on the shelf, whether you can't? Because Nvidia themselves have admitted they will not be able to supply you until 2021. It's Christmas in a month and a half or 2 months. What are people going to do? They're going to go for what they can get. And if the AMD's on stock, that's what they'll buy. It's a great time to be a PC gamer or just a console gamer. The new consoles are obviously launching soon, so those of you that are buying them, have lots of fun with them. I don't have time to do PC and consoles, unfortunately, and work full time. So that's all for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll be back very soon with more gaming and tech news for you. If you do like this content, please give it 2 thumbs up, do subscribe and share the content far and. This is Nihilator from One Full Gaming, signing out.